Hey guys, today we have Priory of the Sacred Flame 15 in Season 3 of The War Within. So this is very similar to Season 2, not many changes. This is the route that I used at the end of Season 2. Some of these pulls are pretty basic. We're going on the left side still. Right side is possible, but it requires your team to do a lot of interrupts during the first boss, and that can be a bit too much for bugs. And this is the gear that I use. It's pretty much the same. I have a pretty balanced stats, as you can see. And my talent's pretty standard Shadow Pan. So
The
these four
expedition
foremen,
built the
foremen,
Priory as a
whatever they
place
are,
to
footmen,
contemplate the
we're gonna
mysteries of
take them
Brewmaster.
with this knight and this pack on the side.
I need to get
So fortify and brew as soon as you get to settlement, just so that it gives your healer some time to catch up. If the healer starts healing you while you're rounding these up, they'll aggro and they'll pretty much die, right? As you can see, I'm playing Shadow Pan,
Watch your
so
step.
I do a decent amount of damage.
Watch your
You'll
step.
see on my little damage meter on the right.
Knocking back.
Again, there's other Brewmasters who do a ton more. There, my healer died, probably from the
Crowd
AoE and then
control.
getting shot by a sharpshooter. But I
Knocking
still
back.
have a good amount of defensives. There, I use my dampen harm. Still have Celestial
Crowd
Brew
control.
with Ox Brew if I need to use another Celestial Infusion. Sorry.
Crowd control.
So I'm fine. We're
Knocking
chilling.
back.
We're not really
Watch
in
your
danger.
crowd
Not at
control.
least not until the next Thunderstomp, which is coming up now.
Watch your step.
Healer got back, so he's able to keep us
Knocking
up.
back.
And I will say that
Crowd
this
control.
is a potentially dangerous pull, especially if people aren't paying attention
Crowd
to
control. Knocking back.
these thunderstomps and being low, using a
Crowd
defensive.
control. Crowd control.
Here, all I'm doing is I'm just pulling these
Watch
packs
your step.
along this area while Shaymail gets to us, right? So
Crowd
three
control.
casters we can manage. There, I fumble my interrupt,
Watch
and
your
I
step.
almost bring a piece that sharpshooter into the next one.
Watch
So
your step.
I was messing up quite a bit here. I see Shaymail coming in, taunt them, and then you just slowly pull in the next couple of packs. What you want to
Spread.
do is you want to have no more than 3 casters up at once, just because the damage is decent enough
Watch
where
your
we can
step.
cleave down the casters along with Chainmail.
Watch your step.
We don't have to worry about it too much.
Watch your step.
Alright, so this here gets a little tricky depending on whether or not the night pack is patrolling or not. You would have to wait there a little bit. But again, like I said, you can pull packs with up to 3 casters in it, just because we have enough interrupts for it. Um, Here I'm just waiting a little bit to make sure that these get a little bit low before I pull the next one, just because there's a light spawn in it. And if a light spawn targets a target or one of the party members and they get a cast hit on them, it's pretty much over for that person, right? So we don't want any unnecessary deaths. Here again,
Watch your step.
I've tried to clash it, but I couldn't. Still trying to get used to it. It just feels a bit weird trying to get the proper range. It's like you can't be too close and you can't be too far, so that's a little bit annoying. Would be nice if you can clash no matter the distance. Like once you get into the range, you should be able to clash into it, right? But I guess they have these restrictions for warrior charge as well. But anyways, we kill these, and I was pinging to let them know that the night pack is there and that we were gonna do it next, but we weren't able to kill this in time. So we just go for the next pull. So this, you hug the wall and you pull these neophytes into High Priest Amia, right? I'm pinging them to run there because they could actually pull that light spawn pack on the left. And it was something that I did in season 2 and it worked out pretty well. But for some reason now in season 3 it seems to be impossible. So I can't pick up this whole courtyard with Amia. So we try to avoid that pack, right? And the reason for that is you can see my teammates are doing a lot of damage, so they're taking a lot of self damage from the shield. And then imagine the light spawn hitting them, it's pretty much game over, right? So we don't want to overly complicate this. Now the reason I'm kiting her towards this tree area, it's because once she dies, the next mini boss is going to run towards her location. So wherever she died, that's where the next mini boss is going to path. This means that if I'm checking my route, that if she dies near this tree, that's where he's going to run to, right? He's not going to run to the middle of the courtyard, so we can do another pack, preferably the night pack, while he safely patrols over there, he safely runs there, and then we can come back and get him, right? You're going to see right now, that's exactly what's going to happen. Jumped into that. So here we do the night pack, right? And you're going to see right now, this is what I mean. So I'm pulling them all to the side and telling them to get away from there because that's where Tainer is going to run to, right? So we're clearing this. I'm pinging them, letting them know, hey, like, stay away from there. He already ran by. He's all the way in the corner by the tree, as you can see there, right? So we don't have to worry about him. I can actually pull him with the next pack of links. So we can just clear this and then do Tainer with the next link pack. I lightninged him to pull him, and we're LOSing so that he targets me and then continues. Hunter interrupts, I interrupt, and then we just pull him to the next pack. So this boss is basically the same as it was in season 2. The only change is that when he does earth-shattering spear, it now leaves a huge puddle on the floor, right? You don't want to stand on it because you will take damage. Always make sure to save your interrupt for Dalcry's shout, his battle cry, and you're pretty much set to go, right? There's really not much different for this. Save Celestial Infusion for when he does Pierce Armor. That's the one that's really gonna hurt you the most because it's a debuff dot on you. So just be mindful of those two things and you'll be fine. Now, for the big pull of the dungeon, we should have at least one defensive here. As you can see here, I fortify and brew it as soon as I have everything together. Blackhawk statue into AoE taunt once they get together, and weapons of order, and just start dishing out the damage, right? I peaked at 23 million there once I had everybody together. I wasn't consistent enough to maintain it that high all the time. Um, they have to move around and try to interrupt. But this is kind of what you want to do. Just kite him out to the outside of the place, just so that everybody has an opportunity to interrupt whenever they can, and be mindful of the consecrates. Okay, and now for Prawn Pike. So basically the same. You want to have everybody stack on you, just so that when he drops the 3 hammers, um, you can move out of the way, right? So they expand as they drop. So you want to move away to another one of these quadrants. And for these first 3, you can take them with diffuse magic, right? So after you take the second one, you can diffuse magic and you'll be fine. As you can see right here, I'm gonna take 2. I missed the dodge there. Well, I'll take 2 and then somebody took another one. And if I need a defensive, diffuse magic is right there, right? But I'm pretty good because I have celestial infusion. Now the other thing you'll see is that I exploding keg. I did it a little bit late there, but whenever he casts vindictive wrath, exploding keg pretty much negates its damage because it reduces all melee attacks by 99%, and vindictive wrath is essentially added damage onto his melee hits, right? And so here again, celestial infusion. I have diffuse magic still, so I can take more stacks. There's nothing really to worry about. There I took 3 and I diffused magic. So I'm just waiting around, Somebody took it. I was trying to wait for the dot to wear off before taking the final one. If you time it right, you can do it. It's a little bit tricky, but you know, somebody else took the last one, so it's fine. And that's basically the whole fight. That's Braun Pike, and now this whole section is just chain pulling, but you have to make sure that you chain pull under 2 conditions. One, you have a maximum of 2 paladins at full health and 1 at low health, so 3, and making sure that all the casters are dead, right? That's pretty much gonna guarantee that you do this successfully, right? And the reason for that is if you have too many sacred tolls going off in the cast, it'll one-shot anyone. If you have 2 paladins at full health and 1 at low health, you're gonna cleave that 1 paladin down and you'll be able to continue, right? Chances of them casting 3 sacred tolls is pretty small, but the healer should be good enough even without lust to keep everyone up, just because it's a smaller amount of mobs. We're not pulling 20 like we did in the entrance. We're pulling maybe like 7 or 8. now into Braun Pike Part 2. I think the hunter stood in that. He died. Here what you want to do is make sure that everyone's a little bit tapped off, just because Braun Pike deals AoE damage. So you don't want people to die from it. Again, interrupting these casts. And once everybody's pretty much stable, you can pull the next pack. Normally people would lust here. I think we opted not to do it. Or we were waiting for the other hunter to show up to lust. But as you can see, it's a lot of damage. There, a cast went off and it killed the other hunter. Again, I'm pretty low, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm keeping myself alive. At the same time, we're making sure that my team's alive, so it's a bit hectic here. We get one caster down. I think after we get the next priest down, we decide to chain pull everything else. There was a late lust there. The problem, I think, is that when these die, we take a lot of damage, right? So if the healer isn't ramping everything up, um, we pretty much get one shot, right? There I had a 5 orb expel harm. I should have used it to top myself off, but I think the healer used some major healing on me, so props to him for that. If he needs mana before we proceed. He seems a little bit low. He says RQ. I imagine that that meant he was ready, and I just went. He did manage to get a couple
Watch
of
your
ticks of
step.
drink. And again, same boss as season 2. Just make sure that you turn around
Face
when
away.
she does blinding light. If you don't, you'll get disoriented
AoE
and lose
incoming.
threat. And this is dangerous
Watch your
because
step.
she changes aggro to the next person on the aggro table, right? And there are some times where she'll melee and then cast. So if you get unlucky, she could disorient you if you don't turn
Watch
around.
your
She'll
step.
melee the next person and then cast and probably kill them. So you have to be mindful of that. I know demon hunters don't have to turn around.
AoE incoming.
It's been proven that I don't know if it's because of the lore of the character or what, but they just don't need to
Face
turn
away.
around on blinding
3,
light. So
2,
it's pretty cool.
1. Watch your step.
And now on to this part here. If we had a shaman, they'll usually earth grab totem by the bottom of the stairs so they can slow down all of the neophytes. But since we don't, as monks, we do have 2 utilities. So here, we
In
ring a
blood.
piece on top of everyone, and that's it. They're untouchable for like about 5 seconds. Which is enough, I guess, where you can still kind of cleave these and kill them. But then the second wave is a little bit tougher, right? There's really nothing much you can do. I had to use my leg
Watch
sweep,
your
which
step.
would have been the second defensive utility for this.
AoE
Couldn't pull it
incoming.
off. So we're just really relying here on damage to clear these before anything.
Face away.
So
3,
I guess that
2,
was our only
1.
downfall in here. Maybe the hunters could have tar
Watch your
trapped
step.
at the bottom or something. Um, but it didn't happen.
Watch your step. Face away. 3, 2, 1. Watch your step. Face away.
That's Priory 15. I got 28 points because I had only timed day 13, I think. So it was a 2 key leap. My damage, not that bad. Again, one of the better dungeons I've done. Also, my self healing was okay. As you can see, Shadowpan is kind of busted. As you can see, Flurry Strikes #1, no surprise. Keg Smash and Brand, doing really good. Can't wait to get a heroic version of that. Again, Celestial Fortune doing a good amount. I was spiking close to 50% crit sometimes, so that definitely helped. So that's Priory. I have a couple of them that are in 13s. I'm trying to do 15s and 16s to upload more videos. So expect a new one in a couple of days. See ya.